Okay, g'day again everybody. Um, Time for another update. I have finished the construction of my engine cage and yeah, have had a few issues. I've managed to, well I did drop this latch back down. I wasn't happy with it sitting up the way it was. It was just too ugly. So, of course it's still very ugly at the moment. Well, it needs all this weld's grind and cleaned up. But yeah, all this up and yeah, I managed to get it to drop down by, I had to cut a piece out of the bar and I've welded another bit in and still got to finish the inside weld. Hasn't been done yet. Grind it off a whole lot. I did have an issue with because I made this outer part of the cage without it bolted on. I just had it sitting in place and I thought it was in the right place, but obviously it wasn't, because when I welded it on and adjusted it to fit the body, I found that this bar was sticking out too far. So yeah, I had to cut about a 1/4 inch out of either side here, pushed it back in, welded it back on, and yeah, it's all fitting fine now. So yeah, this is our operation. Okay, I haven't done the mesh around here as of yet, and I'll leave that till later as well. I'll make it up before I paint it, but I won't be fitting it till after it's painted. Yeah, because this mesh is so hard to weld. I'm going to I'll make a template first out of cardboard, and I'll have the mesh so it folds under, so it comes around and folds under, and then I'll either screw it or rivet it in from the back. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna go with that. We have got exhaust protection bars here in a other bush basher bugs that I've had. This is the first thing that happens. First time you go bush, you get your exhaust all broken and bent, and so that has to be protected. I'll be covering the underside with plate and bring it up to about here somewhere. Same just here. So yeah, there's some alloy plate of about probably 3mm or so. And I'll be welding some lugs in here, some square pieces of about 6mm plate. I'll weld them on, and then I'll drill a hole in them, tap some 6mm threads into them. I'll leave them up, yeah, probably about 10mm up, and I'll recess the plate so that the bolts aren't hanging down below it. Yeah, I'll bend this around here so it's not going to, plate's not going to catch anything, so I can bring it, the plate right up to here, and I'll most likely I think I'll plate the entire gearbox area as well. Yeah, and yeah, I wasn't real keen on adding all this weight into it, but it's got to be strong. You know, this this will be hitting the ground continuously. And yeah, without it covered, you end up with a hole in your sump, you end up with the exhaust broken off. And if you don't end up with a hole in the sump, you'll break the mounts, the engine mounts anyway, just from it bashing up onto it. So, yeah, as I said, it's absolutely essential. Also, by being as strong as it is, I can add a tow bar onto this later if I need to. And the idea too is that we'll taking the boys camping in it, and because you got bugger all storage space in here, it would be handy to have a small trailer just for carrying tents and whatever, and chainsaws and other equipment. I haven't made this bar up yet. This bar can't be welded on anyway because it has to curl around behind the shocky and hook back into this. It's going to hook back into one of those holes, probably the rear of those two holes there. So that's going to have to be a separate piece anyway, so which will bolt on. There's already, because I actually used this bar when I was just driving the floor pan around, I used to hold up the steering column and the fuel tank. So there's already a plate on the end here which has got a thread into it, so I can just bolt straight onto the end of the pipe there. But as I said, yeah, that'll have to be a separate piece anyway. So, yeah, we'll make that later. Yeah, anyway, so that's where we're up to, and I'm about to remove it all now. I'll finish all the inside welds. And paint it all. And yeah, this is the latch I made just here. This bit of rod is actually a tent peg. I cut and slotted some plates. I used just drilled 2 holes, and then I used the Dremel. The Dremel has a very small cutting blade, so cut out between the holes. On the underside, so I drilled a 6mm hole, which is an exact tight fit, and then I got a 12mm bolt drill and made a large countersunk on the underside so that I can fill the whole thing with weld, and that way when I grind this off it'll be all solidly welded. These bits of plate here, these are offcuts of, because all of this material is second hand, it's all been used before for other things, it's all offcuts and bits and pieces. But that's already threaded, and yeah, I'll weld that into the back of the bar here to put the latch on. Yeah, that latch can't just be welded onto the bar because it has to be height adjustable. So, yeah. Anyway, there we go. That's where we're up to. Thanks for watching. Bye.